Welcome, everybody, to Dartmouth Memorial Stadium. Evan Massoud with you here on DCTV as the Durfee Hilltoppers visit the Dartmouth Indians for boys soccer this afternoon. Welcome live on YouTube as well as we live stream this one. Should be a good game. Both teams have one game under their belt under the new rules, new guidelines, and coming into it, Durfee tied 0-0 with New Bedford in their first game, so they're 0-1. And the Indians took a victory over West Bridgewater, 2-0 the final, so they're 1-0. Couple small things to note right out of the gate here as the players get ready to start. 20-minute quarters as opposed to 40-minute halves, and they're doing that to switch sides. Overheard the refs talking right as we were about to kick off, and that was something that I was not told preseason, actually. So heard the refs talking to the captains just moments before we went live. We were not able to get any clarification as to why, but they said they're going to be switching sides at the 20 minutes. So rather than switching at the half, every 20 minutes they're going to switch, kind of like football. So we'll think of it that way. All right, for the visiting Hilltoppers, we'll run down the starting 11 as a centering kick right there. Durfee with a chance early. For the Hilltoppers, they have number 2, Jake Silva, number 3, Colin Hargraves, number 7, Roman Codner, number 8, Dominic Estevez, number 10, Cameron Jacob, number 13, Colin Gilmet, number 14, Marcelo Montero, number 16, Kareem Hilmi. Number 18, Jacob Bigelow. Number 20, Ethan Machado. In goal for Durfee is number 12, Zachary Massa. Head coach for Durfee is Tiberio Mello, back once again leading the team. For the Indians, number 2, Corey Mello. Number 3, Andre DaCosta. Number 7, Charlie Fairfax. Number 8, David Rainville. Number 9, J.P. Kearney. Number 10, Matthew Furtado. Number 11, Jacob Van Ziel. Number 12, Mike Van Ziel. Number 14, Miles DeBarros. And number 24, Mark Good. And in goal for the Indians, Lucas Batista. And, of course, Josh Silva leading the Indians once again. Just about 2 minutes in, we have ourselves indirect kicked. So another thing that you're going to notice, if this is your first time seeing soccer here in the fall 2020 abbreviated season, there is to be zero, and like we're serious, zero contact. So the physicality of the game, something that Dartmouth, that's one of their strengths, is playing physical. They're one of the more physical, lower division teams, if you will, because Durfee's a higher division than Dartmouth, despite being in the same conference. And Dartmouth is always physical, always played the big three tough, and now getting to play the former big three teams, Brockton, Durfee, and New Bedford, as part of this Southeast Conference. And Dartmouth's done pretty well. Again, they've always been physical. They've always been a pretty quick team, and they've always been able to compete very well with those big three teams. And West Bridgewater, can't forget them, of course, coming over with Dartmouth to join this and make this a 5-team conference. That was almost a header, but that is allowed. That was off the shoulder of Hargraves. But no headers are allowed. No physical contact is allowed. No throw-ins. It is very different here. Very different look for soccer, for a team for a sport rather, that is very physical. Also saw the officials talk when they were talking with the captains. They said, look, if you have 6 feet of space, let's say, the defenders are back, right? While the teams are, one team's pushing ahead, that team's defenders are back, right? There's a centering pass. Monson, it's out of reach. Indians score in the first 5 minutes. And it appeared to be Fairfax who buried it in the corner. One nothing Dartmouth at 16:04. So less than 4 minutes into the game. And the home team playing with a lead early. And to finish my thought, what I was saying earlier, so if you're a defender playing back while your team is surging ahead, if you have 6 feet of space, the ref said, lower the mask for a second and take a breath, get some fresh air. So they are allowing that, but you can't, obviously, if you're all bunched up going for the ball, can't take the mask down and, inhale while your opponents or teammates are, basically right on top of you. So, that is something that is very challenging. I mean, it's not easy to do stuff with the mask on, never mind, running up and down the field. So, I got my mask on here in the booth. I'm all alone up here. There are no fans. But, still we're following the rules here as well. So it's the new normal, at least for now. Blocked in front. That should be a foul. It's not supposed to be contact. And Roman Codner just took a full-on body check. Where's the whistle for that? Oh, Coach DeBerry, not a happy camper. And for good reason. That was rather egregious, not getting called Durfee's way. That should have absolutely been a penalty, and it was in the box as well. So it should have been a kick. And must have happened in between the blinking of the officials, because that's a tough one to miss, let me tell you. Indians got away with one there. And talking with Coach Silver before the game, one of the things he said, and actually both coaches really touched on it, was, how the new rules have kind of taken away some of the team's strengths. As I mentioned, both teams very physical, and that's a big part of their game. But, with the new rules and the new guidelines, the mandates, whatever you want, however you want to slice it, all means the same. It's called adapting. And, we've all been adapting for about 7 months. And, part of playing the sport here, there's always going to be new rules or new things you got to follow. And both coaches said they're proud of their players and proud of their team for adapting as best as they can. It's only been one game. So, at least they have one under their belt before today. So certain things will have already probably been worked on and corrected since their first game. But, it is going to take some getting used to, of course, as with anything. But adapting, overcoming. That one is blocked and sent back out of the box by the Hilltoppers. Skied straight up, only went about 10 yards. And there's a header. Again, inadvertent, not really thinking about it. They were going for the header. There was contact made, free kick for the Indians. I jokingly said to the field hockey coach down in Durfee that Coach Henrique, I said, soccer is going to be, like field hockey. We're going to, with all the new rules, we're going to have whistles every 5 seconds. And she started laughing. She said, don't be hating on field hockey. So I'm not hating on field hockey. I'm just making a comparison. But it's true. I mean, we're seeing the stoppage. You lose the flow of play with so many whistles. I mean, it can be said for any sport. And soccer is one of those that you see a lot of play most of the time with not too many whistles. You see a lot of minutes go by sometimes without any infractions. But, basketball with fouls and, you don't usually get to see that here. Soccer is one of those that there's a lot of fluid motion. Hockey, too. There's not as many whistles, it seems. But this year will be different in that respect, too. I expect to hear a lot of whistles and have a lot of stoppages in play. And there's a foul. So that one gets called against Durfee. That one about as, easy a call as the one that didn't go Durfee's way about 2 minutes ago. And good. Sends it on the ground. Played there by Jacob. Now sent back. And it's going to roll up the sideline right in front of the Dartmouth bench. Even the benches look different. You can't see them from, oh, actually you can just a little bit there on the right side of your screen, but basically lined up along the wall is seats that are 6 to 10 feet apart. So there is no bench. It's actually plastic seats for each player. Everybody's got their own space, their own seat. Sent in the air, curling back toward the middle of the field, played off the chest of Jacob. That was sent by Bigelow for the Hilltoppers. It'll go out of play. Hargraves wants to take it, sending it back to Montero. Montero loses it. There was a little contact there. Dartmouth ball as Fairfax is here. As you see the Hilltoppers looking on. And of course, you know, when we say zero contact, I mean, obviously, there is that little bit of wiggle room in a sense that, you know, if there was a jersey brushing against a jersey, I mean, we wouldn't get through this game. We'd be here all night. So, yeah, there's a little bit of flexibility, obviously, but it's got to be very minimal for the refs to let it go. And another whistle as Montero was sending that towards the net. Hargraves, I think, is going to kick it again. Maybe it wasn't settled or wasn't in the correct spot. Again, no throw-ins here, so everything's a kick. That sent towards the net. Can't play the header, had to let it go, and it gets by. Goes all the way to the corner. Botello there for Durfee to get it, but now cleared away by the Indians. That sent back into Hargraves. Hargraves takes a shot, blocked. Cleared back again. This time it's Machado. Now Botello. Silva working that far side. Back to Botello it goes. And that's going to go out of play on the goal line. That went out off of one of the Indians, so it'll be a corner kick for Durfee. But again, it's not the same kind of kick. Oh, that was tipped off the hands of Batista. Looked like it was curling towards the net, but he got a fingertip on it and it deflected. Good save for Batista. You saw right there, you know, Dartmouth had a corner kick earlier as well. Totally different. Can't just sky it towards the net. It has to be kicked towards somebody first. On the ground, almost cut off there by Cameron Jacob of the Hilltoppers. That was a good idea from Furtado, but Avery Reed was kind of breaking the other direction. Back towards the circle. Pass from Rainville. Fairfax scooting around Hargraves and sending it down to the corner. And it's a foot race for Jacob Van Ziel and Jacob Bigelow. And Bigelow, the one winning out. We have just over 5 minutes, 6 minutes or so here, 6.5. 6.5 in the first quarter. Again, not halves, first quarter. The Durfee's kick. Send it back. That's a header. Yeah, see, and right there, Jacob knew it too. As soon as he did it, comes down and just there he is right there. Kind of put the hands up, like, no, can't do that, can't do that. So the players know it, but I mean, it's hard, when everything they've been taught about the sport, basically, and most of these guys have been playing, for the better part of their lives. Everything you've been taught has to change, and headers are a big part of soccer. Hargraves will kick for Durfee. Gilmet resetting, sending it back to Bigelow. Bigelow lost it. Now the Indians trying to turn around. Montero sucked the foot in. It'll be Dartmouth ball. Kearney will kick in. I'll tell you, this is the second season with the new turf here, the new field, and part of what was done was making it true size, because it was not true soccer field size width-wise. And I'll tell you one thing, they made the most out of every bit of this space, because there was so little room on the sidelines compared, because there's no track. So, most stadiums have a track around it, so you have a little extra space. But, I mean, just a tiny little warning track on either sideline makes for tight quarters for the coaches and the players coming in and out. Durfee going to have a kick here from the 10-yard line, so pretty close to the net. Hargraves number 3, Jacob number 10. And it looks like Jacob's going to send it to Hargraves, who will try to take a shot on net. Yep. That's off the elbow and a push. Should be another kick for Durfee. Indians are lined up right at the goal line for football. So about 10 yards behind them is the net. So they're kind of creating a good barrier here. Hargraves taking the shot, and it's off the crossbar. That was over Batista's reach. So let me tell you, Hargraves has that down maybe 3 inches south. That's a game-tying goal, but might have looked good, gave us a little excitement moment for a second, but doesn't amount to anything. So the Indians continue to lead here 1-0. Home team riding that goal that they scored in the first 4 minutes. Real sweet goal, too. As the clock is stopped at 2 minutes here, so almost done with this first quarter. Andre DaCosta bumping into number 6 for Durfee. And this always seems to happen no matter what we do. But number 6, unfortunately, not on our roster. So for the Hilltoppers, I'll try to get to that player at halftime when I can step away. That was Fairfax to Kearney coming back now, and Kearney's going to play it again. Going to shoot it up the sideline. Oh, that's a great pass. Played onside. Chance for Anderson. Sends it back. I think it went out of play. I mean, he was really floating with the boundary line. It did. It indeed went out of play. That's a tough break because, man, he had a great feed, and I think he had some help in front. It looked like Carvalho was up front there as a potential target. So a good opportunity for the Indians that didn't pan out. That's actually very similar to how they scored their first goal. It was on the other side, but pretty much the same deal. Racing down towards the boundary line, shooting it back across the middle, and then burying it in the corner. So, all right, after one quarter, 20 minutes of play here. Dartmouth Indians 1, Durfee Hilltoppers nothing on DCTV. Live coverage from Dartmouth Memorial Stadium. Both teams just going to take a quick timeout in between quarters. And again, as we were told, they're going to switch sides. So Durfee will be guarding the left goal. Indians will be guarding the right goal closest to Town Hall. So some little flip-flopping here like they do in football. See, one of the things that Coach Silva mentioned to me was just, how excited and really grateful the players are just to have the opportunity to play. Sure, it's an abbreviated season, 12 games. You're not getting to see all the opponents that you normally would. It's in a sense, it's kind of like a bubble where it's only the same teams playing each other, the 6 teams. So you have the Southeast Conference, the same 5 that from this conference that was created last year at this time to merge the big 3, Durfee, New Bedford, and Brockton, and then the final 2 teams in the OC, Dartmouth and BR, because Barnstable is kind of staying out on the Cape. So it left BR and Dartmouth, just the 2 of them. So Big 3 and OC combined to make the Southeast. The 6th team is West Bridgewater. West Bridgewater's, they were a lower division team. And again, Dartmouth beat them just the other day. So that's Dartmouth's 1 win. Their first game was against West Bridgewater. But West Bridgewater, they're usually their regular opponents are the Bishop Conleys, the Diamonds of the world. So they're a lower division team, but they basically, you could say, got an injunction to be able to play because the Mayflower Conference, which houses Conley and Diamond, amongst others, other Catholic and Voc-Tech schools on the southeast coast, they're not playing at all. So, Diamond Regional down in Fall River not playing at all. Same with Conley and all the Tri-County, as far as I know. I don't think Tri-County is. A bunch of teams that are in that Mayflower League are not playing because the conference decided that they were not going to play. So left West Bridgewater. I'm not sure where their injunction came, why they got necessarily the preferential treatment to play. Unless it was just a decision with their own district. Diamond decided that with the conference not playing, they were not going to play. So it's possible. There's Zach Moss on your screen, the Hilltopper goalie. Zach rarely gets beaten, especially you folks watching in Fall River on the live stream here. Zach very rarely gets beaten, and it was a sweet goal by the Indians to start the game. There's Batista, Lucas Batista, the keeper for the Indians. So as we begin quarter number 2, again, we switch sides, and Dartmouth holds a 1-0 lead on Durfee. Evan Massoud with you on DCTV. If you're just joining us, welcome. Game 2 of the boys soccer season. That one going out on the side. Jake Silva will kick it in. Actually, no. Giving way to his teammate so he can send to the pass. Botello ended up kicking that one in for Durfee. Montero comes storming in, cuts in around Jake Van Ziel. Indians surging ahead, but halted in their tracks thanks to Silva and Machado. Out of play. Oh, that's a great pass. Chance for Van Ziel, and it's spoiled by Gilmet of the Hilltoppers. Bouncing ball along the sideline. Nice pass from Rainville to Mike Van Ziel. And out of play it goes. That one sent toward the sideline, and out of play it goes. Had a city shoot this morning in Fall River for our government channel, and I actually ran into a former Hilltopper soccer player. He also played basketball, Gabe D'Oliveira. And so we were talking, and he said, he says, I'm so happy for the Durfee boys and the high school boys in the area that they get to play because his college season got canceled. So, really, there are not many schools in the state that are playing right now. So it is a treat to be able to have high school sports, and these players are very lucky to be able to compete. Now the stoppage in play. Doesn't appear that these stoppages, though, are going to count against the clock because we had, a fair number of stoppages in the first quarter, and the stoppage time really was very minimal. So it doesn't appear that they're going to be giving all these seconds back at the end of each quarter. Looks like they're just going to keep it going. As you see it rolling away there on the scoreboard. Ooh, right into the face of Codner. Talk about getting your bell rung. This might be one of those few times that maybe the mask is a good thing. It might have absorbed the blow a little bit. That came in very fast, very hot, right square in the middle of his face. So he's out for the time being. He's on the sidelines. They brought in Kareem Hilmy, number 16. So Codner going to hang out on the visitor bleachers over there for a couple minutes, recollect himself. There he is, number 7. Actually, I see the old John Deere coming from the right side of your screen. So it looks like the trainer's going to take a look at him. And another whistle. It looked like Anderson went down there, number 20. So another kick for the Indians. Fairfax there, number 7. Kind of directing traffic. Looks like Kearney's going to be the one to take it. Nope. Now strolling in is Furtado. Who wants it? Furtado's going to kick it away. Right towards the net. That one sails. And almost goes into the neighbor's yard. I wonder how many soccer balls or footballs have been lost. Even with the the netting, I wonder how many have really gone into the neighbor's yards or been lost here over the years. Played by Hilmy, just into the game. Botello chasing it down, gets there before it goes out of play and before it's kicked out of play by Rainville. But good hustle there from Botello. Really kicked up the speed to try to keep control of the ball. Silva inbounds it, goes out of play again. Durfee should have it again. They do. And this time it'll be Botello kicking it in to Silva. Lofting it. And it was not kicked too hard. Almost looked like kind of swung on and missed a little bit, if you will. Kind of a floater. So I don't think he got the fat part of the foot on it. Might have toed it a little bit. It was an easy play for Batista. Silva sending it off the chest. Well played by the Indians. Kicked up ahead by Hilmy, chasing it down. Cut off by Mello. And it goes out of play. Yeah, definitely a little bit of elbow rub in there, and that drew the whistle. Should be Durfee ball. Machado there for the Hilltoppers, number 20. Fighting for that ball. Durfee does have it. Already just about halfway through the second quarter. A little extra happening down in the box. Both number 10s. Matt Furtado of Dartmouth. Cameron Jacob for the Hilltoppers. Bumping shoulders a bit, looking for position. That grabs the attention of our official. Ethan Machado, number 20, telling him, chill. There they are. Chill out. Calm down. Sent up ahead. Centering pass, and it's a bouncer into the hands of Batista. Great chance for the Hilltoppers. Great save for Batista. Might have been Durfee's best chance to score, other than Hargraves' free kick down the other end. Might have been Durfee's best chance there. Oh, this might draw a penalty. Tumbling down went Damian Anderson. Lucky for the Hilltoppers, it appears, based on where our official is standing, that the infraction happened literally feet from the box. So Durfee catching a little bit of a break there, but this is still kind of a prime spot for a free kick. On the ground, Massa. Oh, what a save! Diving to his right and slapping it out. That's a tough save right there, Massa. Fantastic job to keep this a 1-0 game. Now you saw right there, so it went off of his hands, and the play was basically dead after he made that save, the ricochet. Machado bumping into Furtado. Pretty big height advantage, size advantage from Machado. It was almost like he ran into a wall. Kind of got checked back. And that gives Durfee a free kick. Lofting it toward the sideline. Silva plays it off the chest. Nicely done. Has Mike Van Ziel on his tail feathers. It's taken by Anderson. Now Silva takes it back, but the whistle sounds. Dartmouth ball. Indirect free kick. Massa comes out and he makes the scoop, makes the grab, I should say, in the air. Jacob Van Ziel was flying in. Good play from Massa. So right there, that's a good example right there, folks. Again, if you're kind of new to soccer, right? Exactly what an indirect free kick is. So you have to put the ball in play to somebody first. You can't just kick it from a dead stop. Substitutions were being made. That's why the stoppage there. They actually should have come in the last time, but I think the free kick went off too quickly. Silva plays it to Brian Fernandez of the Hilltoppers, just into the game. Number 19. Hasn't seen too many minutes today, but in there now for Durfee. Machado lofting it all the way down to the near corner of the box. 2 versus 1. Durfee takes it away. Chance for the Hilltoppers. No, it is deflected. Comes back to Hargraves. Hargraves loses it for a second in a sea of Indians, and it's taken away by Furtado. Good defense from the Dartmouth Indians right there. Hargraves working alone again. Kind of a 2-on-1 situation. Loses the ball. Machado. That's blocked and goes out of play. Well, Durfee's getting their shots in, that's for sure. They've looked a little more comfortable over the last 5 minutes or so. They've had some chances. I wouldn't say, though, that either side's really had a full clear-cut advantage over the other in terms of, controlling the pace of play, because there hasn't been too much pace of play with all the stoppages. And there's another. Ball goes all the way down Durfee's end, but the ball was sent by Fairfax. He got tangled up. That ball is going back, 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 and gone. Ooh, it looks like you see it stopped. I think there must be a secondary fence or some real thick brush, but looks like it stopped just to the left of that green trailer. Great shots by our DC TV crew, of course, because I certainly couldn't see that with the naked eye. Nice job there by the Hilltoppers. Clear that one out. That was Colin Gilmet. Kind of stuck the leg out, deflected it to the sideline to force the kick in. Centering pass sent out of bounds. And it'll be a corner kick for Dartmouth. Head coach Tiberio Mello on the right for Durfee. Assistant coach Corey Cardero on the left. And John Kearney for the Indians, number 9 there on the very right side of the screen. Shadows creeping into the field here. Makes it challenging for the viewers and for the players. Stadium almost looks like a skyline between the trees and the press box, the light stanchions. Looks like Durfee's going to get themselves a kick here around the 15-yard line. We're under 5 minutes to play in this second quarter, so almost halftime. I have to say, despite all the stoppages in play, the second quarter seems to be moving a little quicker. Seems like a little more action than that first quarter. Hargraves rolling it out to the spot. So from the 20-yard line, approximately 30 yards or just under that toward the net. Clock still rolling as the official on the right side of the field here. There you go. Nobody was 10 feet back. There was one player for the Indians that was not 10 feet behind the ball. And that's elementary. Should know that. That's pretty easy. This is shot on net. Oh, it's just wide to the left. Cameron Jacob had a wide open net and he couldn't find the corner. Batista had already dove to his left. And the entire left side of the goal was open. That's a big miss for Durfee. Jacob will be thinking about that one later for sure. I mean, they did everything right other than get it in, because that was a beautiful kick from Hargraves. Just got over the line of defenders. Jacob was there. He actually had some help. They couldn't get it through. That's two near goals for Durfee. I'd say at this point now, Dartmouth's probably lucky it's still a 1-0 game, because it could easily be 2-1 Durfee. We roll up on 2 minutes. Gonna bounce and go out. Durfee will have it. And we're frozen now. 2 minutes here. Or approximately 2 minutes left in the first half, the second quarter. Coming to a close. Another great chance down in front. Indians will kick it. It'll be Batista once again sending it out. Notice he's kicking on the ground again, probably I think it's to discourage the headers. Goalies can't punt it away like they usually do. No like drop kicks or anything. They got to keep the ball low. Dartmouth getting the kick this time. It's a little too much contact from Machado. Durfee ball running out of time here. Again, our official and from the back here stopped play right after that kick was sent off. Hargraves gets it back from Machado. Machado now with the pass. Back to Hargraves. Sweet pass. Halted by Jonah Correa. And that's the half. Bunch of Durfee players kind of just shrugging their shoulders, hands in the air like they kind of got the short end of the stick. A little bit of confusion there in that last 60 seconds. And might have cost the Hilltoppers a chance to forge down the field a little bit. And you see Hargraves talking with the officials. So is Jake Silva, maybe trying to get some clarification. The Indians already in their huddle. Durfee kind of strolling to theirs for the halftime break with their coach. So, all right, after 40 minutes of play, Indians 1, Hilltoppers 0 on DCTV. Going to step aside. Going to have the third quarter, the start of the second half, next. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. You see on your screen, we are underway here in the third quarter. 1-0 Dartmouth. Gonna have a kick in here. Could overhear, the Indians, they kind of go off to the corner during their half. Durfee, though, they sit on the field and going to talk to our director in the truck, Mike Moniz. Could overhear Coach DeBerrio Mello. He says, hey, we got to play better this third quarter. Do not go down 2-0. Like, oh, yeah, he's trying to fire up the team. He says, let's score, let's work hard, let's focus. So Hilltopper's got the message from Coach Mello. Got to even the score here. So we'll see what happens. Evan Massard with you on DCTV, high school sports, game 2 of the boys soccer season. And I want to make a correction. I did get number 6 for the Hilltoppers. Number 6 is actually Brian Fernandez. Brian listed on the roster as number 19. That was a change just for today. Brian is a junior this year for the Hilltoppers. That one out of play. Had the chance to have a real quick sidebar with one of the officials for today's game, and he was saying, everybody's got to, there's the rules to follow. Everybody, every official is going to kind of interpret that as best they can. They're going to be as strict as they can. Oh, it gets over Batista's head. It's a goal for the Hilltoppers. Hargraves, number 3. He's the one who sent it in. It bounced. And while it may not have been pretty, it still evens the score. We're tied at 1. Unbelievable. And Batista is down. I think when he dove to try to save that. And I think he might have hit the post because he is down right now. Never like to see that. And honestly, I didn't even notice him go down because I saw the ball bouncing, saw it go in, and I looked back to see the Hilltopper. I didn't see the number as it was going, so my eyes were on Hargraves once it went in. And Batista down now. Coach Silva making his way with the trainer over there to check on his senior goalkeeper. Now, as I was starting to say before that goal, I spoke with one of the officials, just a little sidebar during the halftime break, and he said, "Hi." I said, "How you doing?" He says, "How you doing?" He says, "Yeah, we're doing." He says, "It's just a lot of confusion." He said the players are confused; they're still trying to adapt. And to what I said, everything you've been taught about soccer all your life, everything's changed. So he said, they're trying their best as officials to keep the rules, keep everybody safe. The players, they're they're doing their best to adapt as well. But again, the contact thing, that's one of the things that was said. It can be zero contact, and you've seen this. There's been some physicality, and there's only so much as well that can be done other than to stop play literally every 5 seconds. We're not quite at that point yet, but we've come close a couple times. Just saw Liam Fogarty, number 1, the junior goalkeeper, the backup. There he is, making his way out there. So at least for the time being, it doesn't look like Batista is going to be playing. He is still down. And the trainer is there as well, trying to see. It looks like she might be working on his knee. Batista is up. Definitely looks rattled, that's for sure. The knee is wrapped up. So it would appear that that's what the injury was. As he makes his way off. We'll kill a little bit more time here in between. We'll let you know what's up next for both of these teams. So today, Friday the 9th, Hilltoppers are here at Dartmouth now. Next Wednesday is when they resume because it's Wednesday-Friday schedule. West Bridgewater will be at Durfee. Dartmouth stays home, and they'll square off against Brockton, and that is actually going to be our next boys soccer game that we'll have for you here on DCTV. And I'll be with you for that one as well. So the Indians are going to get basically 5 days off. Again, only a Wednesday, Friday schedule right now. So Batista not happy that he got hurt, just threw his gloves down to the ground like a spike. We'll resume play here. 17 and a half minutes to play in the third quarter. So really, second half just getting underway. Durfee scoring very early in this half to tie it up. And again, it appeared that it was Hargraves who really got going, and he's the one who was able to get that goal. That one is going goodbye behind the stadium. Bouncing on the road. Now we'll get to see how Fogarty will do, stepping in goal for the Indians, who see their lead dissolved here. A tie game now, 1-1. It's a whole new ball game. Little floater there toward the middle, toward the box. Cleared away. Now Bigelow. Now one Durfee number problem solved. Another one has arose. So Brian Fernandez, who was number 19, he's wearing number 6. So you see the bottom of your screen, there's a number 19 out there now. We don't know who that is. So I do apologize, but when I asked Coach Mello at halftime, there's number 19. When I asked Coach Mello who's number 6, he said, that's Brian. Brian Fernandez, he usually wears number 19. That was a change. I said, okay. He didn't tell me there was another 19. So we're hanging tough here. We're watching. We're keeping an eye out for who's on the field. But 19 right now, another change. This is the official I was talking to at halftime. And he just halted play as well. So again, it is. I can understand the confusion. I mean, I'm sitting here and it doesn't feel normal to me. I mean, it's great to one of the first chances for Fogarty. Didn't really have to worry about it as it was sailing. Down the field, and nope, stopped. Halted by Bigelow. Machado goes down. I asked Coach Silva, who's becoming a little animated now, I asked him, I said, hey, before the game, I said, what do you think? I said, from a coaching standpoint, I said, obviously players have to adapt. They're the ones playing. I said, but, they're going to learn from you. You're their leader. I said, how has it been for you to adapt on your end in terms of, training, drills, and really just helping the team adapt, as players? He says, that's the fun part of coaching. He says, that's why I do it. He says, the X's and O's, the drawing up the plays. He says the challenges that come with, any kind of rule change, regardless of the situation. He says, that's why we coach. He said, it's what we like to do. Now, that supposedly was not supposed to be allowed either. The punting. Or at least from what I was told, if there was a punt, it had to be behind the 40-yard line, and that did not land shy of the 40. That landed closer to the 50. That's going out of play right into the hands of our scorekeeper at the table. Montero couldn't get it to hook and stay in bounds. Now, I thought, it's funny, I thought I heard a whistle. I said everybody kept playing. Sure enough, there was, and now there's a free kick in the middle of the field. So, an indirect free kick, excuse me. That's lofted in the air. Dartmouth ball. Indirect. Lofted toward the box. Off the head. Can't do that. And it's negated. Durfee ball. Massa. The official duck and cover. Another free kick for. This should be a straight up free kick because this was, I believe, a foul. It was. That's going to the corner. Out of play it goes. About halfway through the third, Dartmouth led for most of the first half, scoring within the first 4 minutes. Durfee tied it up 2.5 minutes into this third quarter. Well, that was a great idea on the ground. Centering pass, had some help. The Hilltoppers defenders got in the way. Dartmouth with a great chance there to take the shot on net. That is now lofted. It goes over the goal. Massa, foot race to it, takes it out of the air. Gutsy play. Furtado's got some speed, and he was right there. Actually bumped Massa as he was reeling it in. Yeah, we have our first card of the game. And it looks like it was on the Indians there, number 11, Jacob Van Ziel, because he just left the field. But Hilltoppers Marcelo Montero, who was right in the mix there, is still on the field. So it looks like Van Ziel got the card. You see Coach Silva talking to one of the officials now. Yep, got to start the clock. Now we're rolling again. Quite a delay. Talk about taking the wind out of the sail of the players. That's coming back to the stands. Nobody there to grab it. Except the lone reporter from the Standard Times there in the red sweatshirt.
Green, get away! Leave it. Watch it switch. Make it. You gotta give.
Yeah, coming back again. Right at us. Goals the other way, boys. Centering pass. Hargraves takes a swing at it. Blocked by Mark Good. That one out of play as well. Well, the bleachers here have suddenly become a magnet for the ball. Out of play.
Here, eliminate tech. Fix. Come close. Oh,
Centering pass. Sent back, though, toward midfield. Machado comes flying in. Number 20, he loses it. Now Hargraves back with it. Looking to make a move. That one sent towards the box. Can he keep it in? No. Good try there from Avery Reed. He had 3 Indians against 1 Hilltopper down in the box, so not much. It wasn't looking too promising for Durfee, and the Indians were able to clear it, but unfortunately Reed not able to keep it in play. So Durfee with the kick. Machado sending it back to the box again. Ooh, that was close to hands. At least with the naked eye, it sure looked like it was close to handball from Rainville. Shot on net. Oh, just over the net. Fogarty, I think, might have tipped it as he climbed the ladder. But that was another one coming in hot and heavy at the top of the net. Yeah, I think it was tipped because Durfee's got the kick in the corner, so it must have been deflected there by Fogarty. So indirect corner kick, 19 with the centering kick, and it's on the ground inside, and it's now cleared. High booming kick stopped by Bigelow, sent across to Silva. Now Machado trying to break through, can't reach. Really tried to stretch for it, kind of got out of play, got out of the way of it, I should say. The ball kept rolling, couldn't keep up.
again. No foul. No foul. Make sure the nose is cut.
Full-on free kick here for the Indians from Kearney. Machado and Hargraves gathering it now across the other side to Silva. In the final 3.5 minutes here of the third quarter. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're doing quarters this year. So we're going to be switching sides every 20 minutes as opposed to just at halftime. So very similar to football and basketball. So 20-minute quarters. So here's a chance for the Indians. Oh, trying to set it up. Look at the speed, and it's cleared. But, man, Jonah Correa with some legs trying to make something. But, yes, so we'll be switching again once the clock runs out before the fourth quarter. So wrapping up the third here, tied 1-1, and always great to be able to be doing the live sports here, and we're streaming live. So those of you watching right now on the web, on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Glad you're with us. Tie game might as well be 0-0. So got about just over 20 minutes here once we get to the fourth quarter. So just about 20 minutes of game time, a little more than. Well, we figure out a winner or if it's going to be a 1-1 draw. So yeah, anything can happen. Tell you, Durfee's had a couple good chances. Dartmouth not as many. They had one chance earlier in this quarter down the right side. But Durfee with that last chance there. The ball's been down this end over the last 5 minutes or so more than the other end. Durfee's been on the offensive for a good 5 to 6 minutes now. They've had good control of the ball. And I kind of got that sense that, especially with Batista sidelined now, the starting goalie, I kind of got that sense that, Durfee's, really did try, and I just feel like they're going to end up getting another goal before this one's done. It just kind of have that feeling. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I can't do that. That's not a good foul. You can't do that. And that's a card on Machado. Okay. Just can't do that. Again, after today, both these teams be off until next Wednesday. Of course, this is Columbus Day weekend, so the long weekend. As Machado's got to come out, and they brought in Kareem Kilme. But Brockton will be coming here on Wednesday for Dartmouth's next game. Again, we'll have that one for you, and I'll be here for that one too. In Fall River, Durfee will be hosting on Wednesday. West Bridgewater will be coming to Fall River to square off against the Hilltoppers. All right, the 2-minute spot, the clock stops. So this is the finish of the third quarter. Lofted toward the box. That's a header. Can't do that. Oh, actually, and that ends the third. Because, the clock didn't stop for the card. It stopped because of the 2 minutes. But the officials' clock was still rolling. So there you go. 3 quarters done. And we're still tied here. 1-1 the score. Thanks to Durfee's opening goal to start this second half. Both teams get approximately a 60-second timeout in between the quarters here. Again, they'll switch sides. And we'll play for a winner here in this final 20 minutes. Again, Durfee, with the one game under their belt, they played New Bedford. It was a 0-0 tie. For Dartmouth, a 2-0 win against West Bridgewater in their first matchup. So Durfee, with just the tie to their record, they're looking for a W. Dartmouth already has a W. For those of you maybe streaming and watching in Fall River on our Fred TV Sports Facebook page with this same YouTube link, that we thank DCTV for sharing with Fred TV as well, because of course you all know my main gig is down in Fall River, but always love to come up here and cover some Dartmouth sports with this great crew as well. For those of you watching in Fall River right now, we have a full slate of games starting up next week. Actually, we basically have something every day. So going to be coming fast and furious in terms of content on down in Fall River as well. So the Durfee coverage is going to be in full swing next week after the long weekend. Again, no Diamond, no Conley. They're not playing. So it's just Durfee sports here in fall 2020. You've seen a couple times that the stadium is empty, and luckily for Dartmouth, I don't know if we got a shot of it, but on the far right side next to Town Hall, see nobody in the bleachers. You see my hand, hey everybody, but down that side along the fence, spectators are standing. So I guess there's nothing allowed in the stadium, but technically that sidewalk is not the stadium, so I guess they're allowing it within reason. So you see some spectators are there. It's my understanding that the 6 athletic directors in this, again, bubble, for lack of a better term, this bubble of 6 teams that will only play each other, that they all decided there would be no spectators. And that was a collective decision made by all 6 of those athletic directors. Now, I'm not sure if anything's changed in that regard. That's what I was told back in early September. So when we had first gotten our schedules and whatnot. So I'm not sure if that's changed. Right now, I would assume it's not, since Dartmouth has nobody here. And no, you cannot expect any crowd noise to be pumped into these high school facilities. This is not the NFL or Major League Baseball. Nope. It is what you got. Ambient sound, natural sound of the players out on the field, which sometimes is better than listening to the crowds, not going to lie. It really, to me, I mean, you get both. It's pluses and minuses, of course. Obviously having the fans cheering for you as a player, everything you want. For me, as a broadcaster, it's actually nice to be able to hear what the officials are saying, because, we don't have, 3 people commentating. I don't have a partner up here. We don't have a reporter down on the sideline. It's Evan solo for this one. And, it's nice to be able to hear what's going on down on the field, especially if there's an explanation by an official to a coach. It helps me give you all a sense of what's going on at home. Oh, what a great chance for the Indians. Ball still in play. I think the Hilltoppers thought that it went out. But that was almost identical. You folks, once this game is done, you want to go back to the 3.5 minute mark of this game in the first quarter. That is almost identical to how the Indians scored their lone goal. That was incredible. And the lights have come on here at the stadium as well, and after the sun was basically only in that one spot where J.P. Kearney is trying to kick in. There's like no other sunspots on the stadium except that one little spot where he just kicked in. And it's something how much darker it gets here on the field once the sun goes behind the trees. It's a considerable difference in luminance. Cleared out by the Hilltoppers. Played off the chest. Gavin Pilling. Oh, excuse me. That was Mark Good. Mark Good there with the playing the ball there off the chest to stop it. Hargraves. Soft floater toward the sideline here. Luke Caniff comes over, goes out of play, and he's going to kick it in. So again, now see you have the confusion here. We have some players yelling indirect. The official on the far side stopped play. Our official on this near side, who's actually the one who made the call, who's controlling this side of the field, says direct. That's an even better kick than the first one, but even so, you can see why there's so much confusion as to what's going on.
Mix it up. You're gonna guess, at least mix it up.
Coach Silva giving it to the official. I think he's getting a card. He is. Coach Silva not happy. Saying if you're gonna guess, at least mix it up. Not happy that it was Durfee ball. It was bang bang out of bounds. And that just earned the coach a yellow card. So that's 2 yellows for Dartmouth, 1 for the Hilltoppers. Now, one thing I'm kind of surprised about, I mean, I understand size of the field, I get it, and that might have come into play, but field hockey, one of the rules that has occurred or has been implemented is that field hockey is going to be 7 versus 7, which is not the typical number of players. So I'm surprised that soccer ended up being basically 11 versus 11, including the goalies. I'm surprised by that. I thought we would have seen maybe less players on the field, for soccer. But, again, maybe it's taking into account, the soccer pitch is just, very large. And that comes into play a little bit. Tell you one thing, for considering this is supposed to be zero contact, that whole exchange there over those last 30 seconds in the box There were a lot of players rubbing shoulders and elbows fighting for that ball. Errant kick there from Furtado. Gets it back. Runs circles through 3 Hilltopper defenders. Now it goes out of play.
Gotta be 10 yards. No. You still have to be 10 yards. Hey, set up now. Gotta be quick. Gotta put it in the middle. Settle down. You're setting it up for me. Yeah. Ball's still out of bounds. They're not going to play. Turn around. Hey, back up. Wait for the whistle. Hey, back there. Hey, one of you back there.
Another. Massa coming out to make the play. Throws it out quickly to Jake Silva. All the way down this end of the field, from left to right, out of play. Should be Durfee ball.
Who am I thinking of? Kareem and Roman are coming out.
So direct free kick this time. That's a handball. No call. And Fogarty clears it out. Final 10 minutes of this one, still tied at 1. Durfee and Dartmouth battling it out here. So the aggressiveness is definitely turned up here in the fourth quarter for sure. And a collision there. Silva goes down pretty hard. Getting up. Back at it. Gets the pass. And he's tripped. A yellow card. Third one for the Indians. Frustration boiling over a little bit here at Memorial Stadium. Still in play. Now into the box it goes. A chance for Durfee. Oh, the ball is loose. Fogarty came out, made the hook slide, and he's able to keep it out thanks to some assists from the defenders. Jacob Van Ziel and Ethan Machado back into the game after picking up yellow cards earlier. That one going into the corner, and it's out of play. Nice job there from Furtado. Obviously, knowing he's not going to be able to turn it around, he says, he ends up kicking it out just on the sideline. Now, obviously, you don't want it to go out on the goal line. This is not a corner kick. This is just shy of the corner. A regular kick in, indirect. Stolen now by the Indians. That was played right on the line. Forging ahead. Oh, he trips. Hilltoppers, nobody was back. That whistle was a huge break for Durfee because let me tell you, there was nobody back for the Hilltoppers, and the Indians had that one. It was basically a one-on-one matchup. Nobody close. Cutting around in front. No good. Marcelo Montero, the one who ends up saving it for Massa. Furtado loves that set. Fly down into the corner. Full steam ahead, hook it around, and try to set someone up in front. He's done that multiple times. Indirect towards the net, wide to the left. And the Hilltoppers will have it. 6 minutes to play. Durfee's defense has been quite good. And that is one of the things that Coach Mello told me pregame was a strength in the New Bedford game. Of course, when you don't allow a goal, something's got to be working for you defensively. But this has been, challenging at times, especially, again, when you take into account all the rule changes. It has been challenging, though, from a defensive standpoint, because Dartmouth is quick. Dartmouth is scrappy. They've always been like that. Tough to defend. And the Hilltoppers defense, I think, has been pretty good. He said, finishing is where the team needs to improve. Finishing to the net, trying to score. And, when I would agree with that assessment. There's been some good chances for Durfee. They only have that one goal to show for it. Massa made the play there. And even so, that one goal kind of, was a trickler that bounced over Batista. He played it aggressively, paid the price. It wasn't even, bury it into the net type of goal. Unlike Dartmouth's goal, that was a no-doubter. Risky play from Fogarty, and that's a trip. Fogarty came way out to take that ball, and then it scurried back when it didn't really clear the area. Hargraves went tumbling down. Silva with the kick here. I believe this should be a free kick, not indirect. This should be a straight-up free kick. Now Machado coming over. These are the times. Well, maybe it is going to be indirect. I guess so. Touched it. That's it. Back to Machado. And now he's going to get called. And it looks like Rainville is in some pain. And he jumped back up, grabbing at the calf there. It's gotten quite cool out on the field. A little breezy down there. When I came out of the booth at halftime, I said, wow, what a difference from being in the booth versus outside. So could be cramping up a little bit too. Obviously he got taken out, but could be a combination as well. I didn't think he got hit in the calf. It looked like he got tripped up on the foot at the ankle area. So could also be a combination of things. Off the chest of Jacob Van Ziel. Taken away by Machado. Out of play on the far side. 19 unable to handle it.
Get in the middle.
A whistle. I'm going to be hearing whistles in my sleep, I'm telling you. I understand it, but still. Man, oh man.
We have less than 5. 3? We have less than 5. Direct or indirect? We can't sub on less than 5? No, we got 5 minutes in the game. Oh, okay. Less than 5. He's coming, same way, same way. That's us. Those on the ground. Those on the ground. Gorgeous. Yeah. I got him's okay. Not to make it throw. Push up.
All kinds of confusion in the booth and on the field. I heard indirect free kick multiple times, so they did indirect free kick. Then the whistle blows, and then they don't do indirect free kick. They just kicked it out of the box, and then the whistle blows again. So which is it? These are the times when you wish that the officials wore microphones so they could at least explain what in the heck is going on. And now it looks like it's going to be a penalty kick for the Indians. And we're at 2 minutes. I have never seen anything like this. So is this going to be an indirect penalty kick? I mean, I don't even know what to make of this. Hilltopper defenders back. 2 are at the net to help out Massa. In fact, they're behind Massa. Watch out for Van Ziel. Not Van Ziel. Who is that? Actually, I thought it was Van Ziel. Blocked by the Hilltoppers. Oh, it's 23. Jonah Correa. I mean, he was actually in front of Massa, like screening him. It was practically an interference, and he was basically shoving him. Can't do that either. Man, oh man. Ball in front. A chance again for Dartmouth. Cleared out. Van Ziel was looking for the chance. He didn't get it. Denied. Oh, runs right by Cameron Jacob, and he goes down. Can't be very much time left. We've been frozen at 2 minutes here for at least 60 seconds. The officials conferring. Kicked. Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. That thing bounced on the crossbar. You can't make this stuff up. Unreal. And that's the game. Durfee, almost. Dartmouth, almost. But almost doesn't cut it. It ends in a 1-1 draw. What an insane last 2 minutes. Wow. Wow is all I can say. Well, folks, at least it was entertaining. it wasn't necessarily the prettiest thing in the world. Obviously, there's still a lot to get used to, both on the field and in the booth in terms of soccer, but in the new rules. But it was definitely entertaining. There are no handshakes here, so you don't get to see the teams line up and exchange pleasantries, of course, due to the social distancing and whatnot. So, but we're glad that you tuned in, as this one certainly had a wild finish. It started slow, but man, oh man, did we have a crazy final couple minutes there. It's a 1-1 draw. The Hilltoppers still winless here in this abbreviated 2020 season. They are 0-2. The Indians are now 1-0-1. Again, we'll be back next Wednesday with more boys soccer as the Indians welcome the Brockton Boxers to town. Durfee will be home hosting West Bridgewater simultaneously. Folks, thanks for tuning in on DCTV. We're glad that you tuned in for this live coverage as well. And we wish you the best on the long weekend. Go out and enjoy it. Be safe, and we'll see you next Wednesday.